C language was developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1972 at AT&T's. In C language, we have variables. These variables are used to store a value, and the value can be changed, as the name suggests. The rules of giving names to a variable are that it can start with underscore or with an alphabet, but it cannot start with a number. Also, the variable cannot have comma or blank space or any special symbols except underscore that we mentioned already. Now, the thing to notice in C language is that the variable name is case sensitive. Now, another thing that we find in C language are constants. The constants are entities whose values cannot be changed. The types of constants you will normally encounter in C language are integer, real, and character. Integers are normal values, numbers like -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Real number, however, are the numbers which include the decimal point, like 0.8 or 1.0 or -7.89, and so on. Characters are simply alphabets or some symbols. The thing to be noted here is that the characters should be enclosed in single quotes. Now in C language we have 32 reserved words. These are auto, break, case, care, const, continue, default, do, double, else, enum, extreme, float, for, go, go to is a single keyword, if, long, written, register, short, signed, size of, static, struct, switch, type of, union, unsigned, void, volatile, while, and int. These keywords are reserved words, and they are 32 in number. And what will happen whenever you'll write a C program, these reserved words, you cannot name the variables these reserved words. Now, a basic structure of a C program, if we look at the skeleton, what it does is at the starting it has hashtag include, and then you write in brackets the V type of brackets. In V type of brackets you write the library from which you are going to use the functions, or from which you are going to call the functions. For example, you'll write hashtag include and the brackets which look like V and horizontal V, and in that you write studio.h. So this thing is called preprocessor command. Now after this, in the second line you'll write int main and two round brackets. This is called a function. Now you'll start a curly brace. In the next line you'll write printf in the bracket. In double quotes you'll write hello world, and you'll end this whole sentence or statement or this line with a semicolon. The thing to be noted here is that every line in C language is terminated with a semicolon. Now after this you'll write return 0 semicolon and curly braces closed. Now this is a program. If you'll run this program, you will find that in the terminal of your IDE, whatever you're using, there it will come, the hello world will be printed. Now the thing here to be noted is that every program's execution starts with main bracket, the round brackets, and this is called function. Another thing which I've already told, that all statements are terminated with a semicolon. Instructions are also case sensitive like the variables, and these instructions are executed in same order in which they are written. Now what are instructions? Instructions are, for example, I had written printf, so it's an instruction or a statement. Instruction and in statement are same. So instructions are case sensitive and instructions are executed in the same order in which you have written them. In C language, we have an option to add comment. Now this can be done in two ways. One is a single line comment, in which you can write comment in only a single line, and another one is multi-line comment, or it's called multi-line comment, in which you can write comments in many lines. Okay, so to write a single line comment, you will use a symbol opposite to backslash, double time. What are these called? Reverse backslash, to reverse backslash. And in a double line, you will use reverse backslash. I don't know what is the symbol called. The symbol that is being used is one just beneath the semicolon key. Okay, in the single line also, in the single line you use it 2 times, in double line you use it 1 time, then you use the symbol which is called asterisk, I guess, yes, the symbol which you use for multiplication. And after that, you, in the line in which you want to, like for example, you wrote the comment in 4 lines, so in the 5th or in the 4th line itself, you use the asterisk again, and you use the slash that is in opposite direction, not opposite direction, sorry, that in the same direction in which you use the slash earlier. For example, JKL and the semicolon, the slash that is just beneath the semicolon, diagonally beneath, you'll use that both times. Okay, now what are these comments? These comments are just for your sake or for the person's sake who is going for the other view, for the people who are going to see your code. These comments are not executed. Okay, if you are using Visual Studio Code, what will happen that, not what will happen if you're using Visual Studio Code, before running the program, you will have to save it, otherwise it will show error. So how do you save it? Ctrl+S. Also, when you will be creating the file in Visual Studio, you'll have to save that file as the name and .c, then only it will come in C language. Now if you have not installed the run extension in the, for example, most people use Visual Code Studio nowadays. So if you are not using the run extension which runs your program by itself, you will have to write gcc space the name of your file .c, and when you will press enter, it will form a file named a.exe. If you want that your file be named the same name that you have given it already, you have to write gcc space first.c, then you have to write -o first. Now the first or whatever the name you have given. So now what will happen, the file will be created, but it will not be created as a.exe. It will be created as the name, whichever the name you have given, .exe. Now if you'll do gcc dot backslash first or whatever the name you have given .exe, the program will run. Okay, and also if you will for example, if there are lots of lines in your code which you want to comment out, you can just press Ctrl+backslash. Now a compiler is a thing which you would have installed in your laptop or computer if you are using this Visual Studio Code or any other IDE. So what a compiler generally does is it converts C program to machine language. And what are library functions? Library functions are some predefined functions which we have. For example, printf prints whatever the thing we have written inside the bracket and inside the double quotes. Scanf what does it does? It scans or takes the values, or different values depending upon how you have defined the variable from the user. Now if you'll write printf round brackets and in double quotes you will write an integer. So for that integer to be printed, you have to use %d. For integers we use %d. For real values we use %f, and for characters we use %c. Now variable, as I've already mentioned, can be of 3 types, just like the constants: integers, real number, and characters. Okay, so if you are defining a variable which is an integer, you write int a space in between them. If you're defining a variable that is a real number, you write float and space and a. Float is used for the decimal ones, and if you're writing a variable which is a character, you'll write char and space a. Now as I've already mentioned, scanf is a function which receives input from the user, and what does it do? It assigns that value to the variable. Now for example, scanf in the not curly brackets, in the round brackets you write %d, and this %d is enclosed in a double quotes. Now you write a comma, then you write and I, then you close the bracket, then you close this statement with semicolon. So what will happen that when you will run this program, this line or statement scanf will be executed, it will give opportunity to the user to write a value. And since we have written %d, so we must have defined an integer value earlier, integer variable earlier, that is an I. So you will be able to write you will be able to give integer values here, and this integer value will be assigned to whom? To the variable which is written after and. So what is this thing and I doing here? It is assigning whatever the value will give to the function in the out in the input to this I. So yeah, that's it. Now we have completed first chapter of C language. We'll continue with the second one.